Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
Help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself.
And she eventually said, look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
25 new lawsuits have been filed, accusing Diddy of abusing minors. High-profile celebrities, including 50 Cent, are now coming forward with claims that Diddy manipulated young stars, such as a 13-year-old Justin Bieber and a 9-year-old Aaron Carter, into performing acts. Hollywood's most disturbing secrets are emerging in what is quickly becoming one of the most shocking scandals of the century. Stay tuned as we delve into 50 Cent's recent interview, which sheds light on Diddy's alleged involvement in Aaron Carter's tragic death.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
Aaron Carter gained fame at a young age, releasing his self-titled debut album when he was only 9 years old, eventually becoming one of the most successful music stars in history. On one hand, he was on track to become a legendary figure, reportedly amassing over $500 million at his peak. On the other hand, Aaron was subjected to manipulation and abuse, reportedly caught in the toxic culture of sexual exploitation in Hollywood. It is alleged that even his parents were aware of his struggles with mental health and abuse, but chose not to intervene.
Aaron Carter begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not suicidal. And no one said anything.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself.
One person who understood Aaron's struggles was Justin Bieber. Having experienced similar challenges himself, Justin knew exactly what the young star was going through. At just 13, Justin signed with Scooter Braun, and shortly after, his manager, Usher, handed him over to Diddy. Hollywood has a troubling history of exploiting young talent, and both Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter unfortunately became victims of one of its most notorious abusers.
I was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. It rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one?" And he was like, "Let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out." So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again, and he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like, what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
In 2009, Diddy was granted legal guardianship of Justin Bieber for 48 hours, and since then, Justin's life has seemingly spiraled downward. What exactly happened during those 48 hours remains a mystery. When Justin tried to bring it up in public, Diddy quickly silenced him on national television. To make things even more bizarre, there's footage of Justin visibly shaking after a meeting with Diddy, where he appeared to be coerced into giving up his phone number.
We've become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like... Exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't for everybody. What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 55.
What Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter experienced was not their fault. It was the responsibility of those around them to protect them, but instead, these individuals were the ones who exposed them to harm. It is said that Usher played a role in introducing Justin Bieber to Diddy, and without that connection, Diddy would not have had the opportunity to exploit him.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
It is claimed that Usher was perpetuating a cycle that began in his own youth. At the age of 13, he was sent to live with Diddy at Puff's Flavor Camp. According to Usher, Diddy exposed him to activities he didn't fully comprehend. The most startling revelation, however, came when Usher made a connection between his son and Diddy.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Strangely, Usher's reported mistreatment didn't stop as he got older. Instead, Usher and Diddy stayed close even into adulthood. Leaked footage from a party hosted by Diddy captured the two together, and, surprisingly, Diddy admitted on camera to having slept with Usher.
We want to thank you. Come in. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shouts out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna
If we can, just let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen,
having a good time, yo. Usher made it.
This is not just a harmless joke. For years, there have been rumors about an intimate relationship between Usher and Diddy, and several sources close to both have repeatedly confirmed this. In a recent episode of The Art of Dialogue, Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard and head of security, shared details about how he witnessed Diddy allegedly manipulate Usher for his own personal gratification.
But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something.
Delve deeper into this web of deception, it's clear that victims are everywhere. Even some of Hollywood's biggest A-listers have fallen prey, which explains the widespread silence. The extent of these lies remains unknown, as does the identity of the mastermind behind this twisted ordeal.
A lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher. When Usher was younger.
Do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why?
Welcome to the family, John.
New reports are emerging daily, and the most shocking development in the story is the leak of tapes allegedly recorded by Diddy. After a tape featuring Usher and Kevin Hart surfaced, 6 more tapes have reportedly been discovered, showing Diddy in compromising situations with minors. TMZ has authenticated these tapes, which are said to depict Diddy involved in intimate acts.
And I want to start with Tania Wallace, who claims she's been at a freak off and said she saw children, and it was hard for her to say it.
It was very hard for her to say it, Ashley. So what she said was that she was flown out from LA to Miami by the Saudi prince. And they ended up eventually on Star Island at one of Diddy's parties. She says, among many other things, she goes into detail. This, she says, happened in 2018. She says that she walked into the house and there was a cluster of adults around what she described as little people. And they were dressed up as Japanese Barbies. I forgot the name. It's Harak something. You can help me out here. It's a certain type of Barbie. Anyway.
I know the name, but I've forgotten it. But go ahead.
So she explained that that they were just clustered around these little people, and I kept pushing her, and she eventually said, look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party. And I pushed her, and it was apparent what she was saying is they were minors. Now, she didn't see anything specific that was going on with them other than that adults were kind of huddled around them. But she told just a wild story about what was going on at the house, even at 7 a.m, that this thing apparently raged all night long.
You know, it's amazing. TMZ always gets such great scoops, and this one might be one of your best as well. You got a hold of one of the Freakoff tapes. Your producers have seen it. The description is, and I'll quote, "It's porn directed by Diddy himself." And a male sex worker really sort of walks through what happened in the experiences that he had. They didn't sound illegal, but they sure seem to comport with a lot of the other stories that have been told.
Yeah. So this was a threesome. What you would ask me about earlier about Tania Wallace, she said there were more than 100 people at that party, including at least 4 celebrities. But what you're talking about now was a threesome, and that's something that the U.S. attorney even referenced, and his lawyer in an earlier documentary we did. He was describing threesomes. He says it was all consensual. So yes, what we're told is that this male sex worker was flown out to various locations over a couple of years: Miami, New York, Los Angeles, and one other.
Amidst the ongoing drama, with new celebrities being revealed daily for their connections to Diddy, only one major star is speaking out. 50 Cent 50 has had a long-standing feud with Diddy dating back to the early 2000s and has even gone so far as to claim that Diddy is responsible for the murder of Biggie Smalls.
Wait a minute. There were other people who were signaling to us that something was very wrong with Diddy, and they were virtually just being laughed out of the room. One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. And he is saying that it's a complex narrative that spans decades, which we are obviously realizing this, which should really make it clear to you that Hollywood is a tremendous evil. Everybody colluded to protect these secrets. They all were aware of it, and few spoke out. So Netflix is producing the docuseries from Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, about the charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, as well as sexual assault and violent abuse allegations against Diddy Combs. And Alexandria Stapleton will be directing the project. I will be definitively watching this. They describe this as a story with significant human impact. It's a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or the clips that we have seen so far. And 50 Cent is exclusively speaking to Variety, saying that he remains steadfast in his commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember that Sean Combs' story is not the full story of hip-hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions. Now, I would actually beg to differ. I would beg to differ on this because, like I said, I read that book, Hollywood Babylon, and as it traced, and again, that was movie culture, so they were kind of getting into the beginning of film, silent films, and making it clear that it was the carnies, the carnival people, the freaks that established Hollywood, and they were creating characters, and these people were drug addicted, sex addicted, and essentially they turned them into stars on screen because in many ways, they wanted to emulate, mock, and destroy the church.
It's been rumored that Diddy once showed romantic interest in 50 Cent and invited him to go shopping, but 50 declined the offer. Since then, 50 has made efforts to steer clear of Diddy, particularly due to his alleged ties to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what the What'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no. Take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Why is 50 Cent the only one speaking out about the abuse that took place behind closed doors? Are others staying silent, or is there something more at play? Allegedly, many celebrities are too scared to speak out against Diddy because of the incriminating information he holds over them.
He saw what Love was watching.
It's rumored that Diddy had a habit of recording everything at his parties and later using that footage to blackmail people. Even if guests hadn't done anything wrong, he would reportedly drug them and make them believe they were involved in illegal activity.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case this case is going to touch and involve, and the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing case here because we're just getting started. And I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
As names are finally being revealed, everyone who attended Diddy's parties, ranging from celebrities and athletes to producers and even British royalty, is anxious about what the tapes might reveal.
Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that